Hi everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we are diving into Middlefield Banc Corp's latest filing. It's like looking behind the curtain of a community bank. We're going to see if this Ohio-based bank is building a financial fortress or if there are cracks in the foundation. So buckle up because we're about to unpack some bank secrets. This is a Schedule 14A filing, a proxy statement, which means it's information for shareholders about an upcoming meeting and what they'll be voting on. It's like a voter's guide, but for company business. The main things they'll be voting on are electing directors, executive pay, how often to vote on executive pay in the future, and picking an auditor, a financial watchdog. The annual shareholder meeting is set for May 14th, 2025. Shareholders get to weigh in on key decisions, including electing board members. This year, they're voting on 3 directors whose terms are expiring. It's important for shareholders to make their voices heard, whether they attend the virtual meeting or vote by proxy, which is like absentee voting. One of the proposals up for vote is on executive compensation, or how much the top bosses get paid. This is a non-binding vote, meaning the company doesn't have to follow the shareholders' wishes. However, it's still a good way for shareholders to voice their opinion on whether they think the executives are being paid fairly. They'll also vote on how often they get to vote on executive pay in the future, either every year, 2 years, or 3 years. Another important vote is to ratify the appointment of SR Snodgrass PC as the independent auditor. This is like hiring someone to check the company's homework, making sure the financial statements are accurate. It's up to the shareholders to approve the choice. The company separates the chairman of the board role from the CEO position. They believe this is a better approach to overseeing the company and its management. The chairman runs the board while the CEO runs the company day to day. They think it's too much for one person to do both well. Middlefield has a code of ethics that applies to everyone, from the top executives to the regular employees. It's designed to keep everyone honest and ethical, avoiding conflicts of interest and following the rules. It also includes a special code for financial professionals to ensure accuracy in financial reporting. The company has a strict insider trading policy, which means people who work for the company can't buy or sell stock based on secret information they know. This is to make sure everyone is playing fair and no one is getting an unfair advantage. The policy also prohibits things like hedging, short selling, or using margin accounts to prevent risky behavior. Shareholders who want to talk to the board can send letters to specific directors. This is their way to have their concerns heard by the right people. Let's talk about how much the directors, the people on the board, get paid. We have a table here showing their compensation. They get paid in cash and stock awards. For example, William Skidmore, the chairman of the board, received almost $60,000. Now, who owns the company? BlackRock, a large investment firm, owns about 6.15% of the stock. Castle Creek Capital Partners, the XLP, another investment firm, owns about 6.94%. It's important to know who the major shareholders are, as they have a lot of influence. Let's dive into the executive pay, which is where things get interesting. The summary compensation table shows how much the top executives made. Ronald Zimmerly, the president and CEO, made over $1.2 million in 2024. That includes salary, stock awards, and other compensation. Michael Rantilla, the CFO, made over $626,000. Michael Charovich, the EVP, made about $480,000. A big part of executive compensation comes from the annual incentive plan. Executives can earn extra cash if the company hits certain financial goals like pre-tax income and keeping assets in good shape. It's all about motivating them to perform well. Scroll standing equity count. This table shows stock awards that haven't yet been earned. These are promises of stock if certain goals are met or time passes. It gives executives an incentive to stick around and make the company successful. Scroll summary compensation table total for Scroll. Now let's look at pay versus performance. Ronald Zimmerly's pay in 24 was about $1.2 million. The average for other executive $1,000 if you invested $100 in the company in 2022. It would be worth $120-$150 to company performance. Shareholders will vote for 3 directors. These are the people who sit on the board and make big decisions for the company. This year, Spencer Cohn, William Skidmore, and Carolyn Turk are up for re-election. The board recommends voting for them. Finally, the shareholders will vote on whether to keep SR Snodgrass PC as the company's auditor. The board thinks they're doing a good job and recommends voting for them. Now for my take. Middlefield seems like a stable, community-focused bank. Its strengths are strong leadership and good oversight through the board. One potential weakness is the reliance on hitting financial goals for executive pay. If the economy suffers, it might be harder to meet those goals, even with good management. A risk to watch is increasing competition from larger banks and online lenders, which could eat into Middlefield's market share. But the community bank model may stand the test of time. Overall, Middlefield appears to be in decent shape, but like any bank, it needs to stay nimble and adapt to changing times. That's it for this episode of Corporate Decoder. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Until next time.